Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakwa HaKodash. Double honors to our elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all the brothers who's pushing this work in sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Tamayan from GMS Toronto, coming at you again with another video. So today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is I'm warning you Edomites. All right, you Edomites have been warned, because what you didn't know, out of all the nations on the planet Earth, yes, the Most High made you the wicked, but what you have in your presence, or what you have in your grasp, or in your kingdom, are murderers. The most bloodiest people on the planet Earth are the Israelites. Okay, we are under the curses. The bloodiest men on the planet Earth are the Israelites. Yes, I know you've done all of your wickedness through deceit and all of these things, but still nothing compared to the men of Israel. Right? Even our king himself, King David, couldn't even build the Heavenly Father a house. His hands was too bloody, too many blood on his hands. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of of what is going to come to you Edomites once the Most High gave us the green light. So I'm going to read from Genesis 34. Okay, this is from the inception of our nation being built. Right? This is what transpired due to the lack of disrespect. The lack of wherewithal from these other nations, because at that time we were warring with these Hamites, and we're still warring with them up until this day. Right? So our men, the men of Israel, we actually commanded respect in the ancient world. It's only now the remnant of the elect of the nation of Israel, they're demanding back their respect that they once had. Right? And we're waiting on the Lord for it to come to fruition. But we're here crying and sighing. Right? But I'm going to show you how we used to be in the ancient world, and what's coming to you. Genesis 34:1. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. So she was being careless. Okay? She didn't want to stay at home like the typical Israelite woman, lively and whatnot. And when Shechem, the son of Amor, the Hittite, prince of the country, saw her. So you think Dinah was just a regular girl walking around? She was a princess, and she didn't just go out by herself. I'm sure she had her handmaids and people walking with her, but this man was a prince as well. So when he saw this princess, this Israelite princess, I'm sure he heard about her, and I'm sure he's seen her before, but he saw her in the flesh, and he wanted that. He took her and lay with her and defiled her, because this was a heathen. This was a heathen man coming to sleeping with our sister, right? Because she never had a tribe, right? She was just an Israelite woman, the first Israelite woman, but she never had a tribe, obviously, because she's a woman. And none of the brothers were going to sleep with their own sister, because that's incest and that's against the scriptures, right? And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel. So he pretty much made her his wife, right? But at the same time, if he was an Israelite man and he did that and she was single, would have been and he had to pay a dowry, right? But this is a heathen. This is a heathen man taking a princess and raping her, so to speak, because she was if she wasn't careless, then this wouldn't have happened to her. But at the same time, the Lord wanted this to happen, right? Because the Lord is a man of controversy. And Shechem spake unto the father Hamor, saying, unto his father Hamor, saying, get me this damsel to wife. So he actually loved her. He wanted her. But he raped her, right? And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter, because she was supposed to be chosen. She was supposed to be betrothed to someone else, right? Not to a damn Hamite. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him, because they were taught. He knew his son had messed up, right? His son had messed up, and this was a big shame around this. You can actually imagine what was going on this time, man. He tried to patch things up, like, yo, my son did this to your daughter, like, how much do you want for her? Because those were the conversations that they were having. And this wasn't no thing. Can you imagine these brothers in the background just probably running their mouth, like talking shit, and Jacob had to quiet them down and all of that, man. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were this is in the Old English, were grieved, and they were very wroth. They were pissed off, because he had wrath folly in Israel. Yeah, he had wrought folly in Israel, man, by taking one of our sisters, right, and laying with her, because she was being careless too, like, typical young Israelite woman, being wanton and whatnot. Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done, because they knew the prophecies, right? They knew who they were. So Dinah is a very special woman, right? This is a child of Jacob. This is a princess, right? These people were to govern the whole world. Kings and princesses came out of their loins, right? Even queens came out of their loins, right? Because certain places in Africa, they had queens that were Israelites, so queens came out of their loins too. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife. Because he knew about Dinah, like I said. He didn't just saw her and then, oh, that's a sexy girl, I want that. No. I'm sure the fathers probably did business together, and then he seen her. She saw him, so they probably knew about each other. And because remember, they weren't just living no regular life. These boys that you hear in these scriptures, man. There were 12 patriarchs. There were 12 princes. And guess what? Isaac handed down a business of selling water and land and cattle and all that stuff to Jacob. So Jacob was rich. He was a king, right? Jacob was a king. So he was pretty much pleading for Jacob to give him the daughter to wife to his son, and make her marriages with us, and give your daughter unto us, and take our daughter unto you. So he wanted a truce, which this is part of the scriptures that's in the law, that's telling us not to give our daughters unto them, nor take our daughters, nor give our son nor daughters unto them, right? Salakia. So he wanted us to go against our laws and whatnot. But the brothers are already pissed off, man. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade you therein, and get your possessions therein. So he was pretty much willing to trade it all, because he knew what his son had done, And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me, I will give. So, like I said, anything that Jacob and his sons asked for, he would have given to them, because he knew what his son had done. His son had committed a great abomination, right? So he was just trying to patch it up, like, yo, just get them, let's just marry them, and whatever you want for the dowry you can take, right? But that's not how things go, man. When us Israelite men are pissed off, it's another story than when other nations in this whole world is pissed off. Okay, our testosterone's higher. Everything is on a higher playing field, man. That's how the Most High made us. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. Right? So he was trying to make that deal. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah his sister, their sister, and they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised. Damn heathen, man. For that were a reproach unto us. Yep. But in this will we consent unto you, if you be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters unto us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. Oh man. So he said they dealt with them, our forefathers dealt with them deceitfully, because they wanted revenge, man. They had to make an example, right, of these damn heathens, man. You do not defile a daughter of Israel. The law tell you that, right? There shall not be a whore of the children of daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel, right? So, you know, the Israelite men did not want to come together with these heathens, but they had to do that just to make them drop their guard, so to speak, because if they were to say, you know what, fuck you, we don't want anything to do with you, you're going to get it. They're going to arm themselves, and it's going to be a war, an all-out war. But guess what? We had to trick them, right? Hence the word supplanter, man. You know? That's who we are. But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. And the young man deferred not to do the thing, but he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. So he was in love, man. He was enamored. And Hamor and Shechem his son came unto the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are peaceable with us, therefore let them dwell in the land and trade therein. For the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters unto us to wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us, for to dwell with us to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised, as they are circumcised. So these people always wanted to join themselves unto Israel, or get Israel to join us unto them. Right? Because our laws are different, our people are different, so therefore they always want to join themselves unto us, because they know we have that shine, we have that liveliness in us. The Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is dealing with us, and they know this, right? Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. And unto Hamor, where am I? And unto Hamor and Shechem his son hearken all that went out of the gate of the city, out of his city, and every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. So this was a great man. This wasn't just a regular man, or else he would have been dead. If a regular man would have raped Dinah, you know, they had to hold back a little, because this is a man who had probably an army. You know, he had a lot of people under him. So you can't just run up in there and, like, you know, and killed, because you will be met with great resistance. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man and his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. Damn. And this, listen, this is not a city of 20 men, okay? It's not a city of 40 men. It's not a city of 100 men. A city is a city, okay? It could be thousands. And it is thousands, okay? I'm going to go on a limb through the spirit and say it's not hundreds of men, okay? It's a city. And this is a prince. And took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. So they brought their armies with them, or the men that roll with them, and they did this. Because obviously, yes, we are Yasharala, but these two, like, they were the head, they were the forerunner of this whole situation, or this attack, right? But they had men with them, and they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out. So please believe that when Dinah was in that house, you best believe she was getting it. All those times when the father's out there trying to negotiate, she was getting it. All right. And they slew her. Okay, so verse 27, and the sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city, and became Salakia, because they had defiled their sister. They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field, and all their wealth, and all their little ones. Damn. And their wives took their captive, and spoiled even all that was in their house. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, you have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, amongst the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in numbers, they had gathered themselves together against me, and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. And they said, should he deal with our sister as with an harlot? And that's the right spirit, man. That's the right spirit to be in. So Esau, this is what we did in the ancient world. Okay, so be very careful, man. We know you're not going to be careful, so I'm just warning you. I'm warning you now. I'm not even going to go into all of the bloody wars that we were in. So who you brought over here? Okay, you brought David's mighty men over here in captivity. You brought other men of valor that's mentioned in the scriptures. You brought prophets over here in captivity. You brought killers in captivity. So you have to deal with whatever comes your way, man. You have to deal with whatever comes your way. 2 Samuel 16, and I'm going to end it. 16 and 7. Thus saith Shammai, when he cursed, came out. No, that's not it. That is not it. Hold on. I want to get right to the point. In 2 Samuel 16. And he cursed Shammai, get out from murder. Okay, that's not it. Okay. David couldn't build. Let me get this final scripture and get out. In 2 Samuel 7. All right, so 2 Samuel 7. I'm going to start at 1. And it came to pass when the king sat in his house, and the Lord had given him rest round about from all his enemies, that the king said unto Nathan the prophet, See, now I dwell in an house of cedar, but the ark of God dwelleth with curtains. And Nathan said to the king, Go, do all that is in thine heart, for the Lord is with thee. And it came to pass that night that the word of the Lord came unto Nathan, saying, Go tell my servant David, thus saith the Lord, Shall thou build me a house for me to dwell in? Whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day, but have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle, and in all places where I have walked with all the children of Israel, spake I a word with any of the tribes of Israel, whom I commanded to feed my people Israel, saying, Why build ye not me a house of cedar? Now therefore, so thou shalt say unto my servant David, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, over Israel. And I was with Salakia, and I was with thee whithersoever thou wentest, and have cut off all thine enemies out of thy sight, and have made thee a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth. Moreover, I will appoint a place of my people's Israel, and will plant them that they may dwell in a place of their own, and more, so I can move no more, neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore as before time. Let me drop down to a main point. So it says here, he shall build. Okay, so Salakia. And as since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have cursed thee to rest from all thine enemies, and all the Lord telleth thee that he will make thee an house when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with the fathers. I will set up thy seed after thee, which is Solomon, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom, which is Yahushai. Okay? If you Christians are listening to this, King Solomon is the one you people call Jesus Christ, which is the Messiah, okay, in the reincarnation. Because when did King Solomon get the kingdom forever? The kingdom, never. But he's gonna get it as Yahushai, okay. He will build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. More clues. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men. So when was King Solomon chastened for his sin? Because we know he sinned. And with the stripe of the children of men. But mercy shall not depart from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. And thy house and thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before me. Thy throne shall be established forever. Right, so I think I passed the point, because David's hands were bloody. That's why he couldn't build a house for Yahushai, for Salakia, for Yahweh. Right, so those are two examples, because David killed thousands, man. David slew thousands. David slew thousands. No, tens of thousands. All right, so 1 Samuel 18, and the women and 7, and the women said and answered one to another as they played, and said, Saul had slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands. Okay, and that was a song that was sowing among the children of Israel. Mainly the women were singing this. Okay, they were famous men for slaying other people. So you Edomites, that's what we did. That's our history. Okay, we slew a lot of people, man. We slew thousands, even millions of people in the ancient world. And guess what? That's coming back again because our men are bloody men. Okay, the men of Israel, Yasharallah, are bloody men. So with that, I like to say all praises due to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.